We got the Church Militant update on church news, politics, and the culture wars. We've got James Fidoa on the Terry and Jesse show. James, how are you, my friend? What's going on in the world of the church and the culture?
Thanks for having me on. The hosts always fight each other to see who gets to be on Terry and Jesse on Wednesday. So I won this round, but we'll see what goes on. So, but yeah, the first story I got for you guys tonight is Cardinal Dolan out in New York. He is endorsing Father James Martin's newest LGBT outreach website called Outreach. Pointing people down a path of sin. I mean, it's the same, James Martin stuff we always report on, it seems.
Yeah.
But Cardinal Dolan is backing him with that.
Isn't it true, James, that this event has one of the keynote speakers, Father Brian Massaglio? He openly is a homosexual priest at Fordham University and a professor who supports same-sex marriage. And here it comes, and he's denied the existence of absolute moral laws. Is that true?
I would have to double check on that, but it would not.
Well, I got the facts of it. I got an article. That's why when you told us you're going to be speaking, this is crazy that the Cardinal would be supporting such an event. That's my bottom line. You guys are going to share more in the news on this, but I just find that James Martin saying that St. Paul was wrong when he spoke about homosexuality, that's pretty bold. And to support someone who goes against the Bible as clear as Father James Martin does, it makes no sense.
Yeah, he's even during a Pride Month, the month of the Sacred Heart, which is what it actually is, but now it's called Pride Month by the secular world.
Right.
He sort of tried to conflate, pride and pride in the Sacred Heart are all, one and the same thing, teaches us how to love and who to love, He's watering down the faith, and that's why so many people are just falling away from it.
Yep,
James, Father James Martin seems to be the front man, and what I see right here, I see very clearly, I don't know if anybody else sees it, there is a cabal of homosexual prelates in high places that are trying to normalize homosexuality in the Catholic Church, and they're doing it. I mean, you got, Perlin, Casper, Schonborn, Coco Palomero, Vellini, Supich, Gretsch, Paglia, Forte, McElroy. I mean, the list goes on. But I think the front man, the one that they're really using, for whatever reason, I guess because he's got a big following on social media, and he's also the editor of America Magazine, they're really using and backing up Father James Martin to try to normalize homosexuality throughout the Catholic Church.
That's
hundreds of thousands of followers James Martin has on Twitter. I think it's even more on Facebook if I'm correct. He definitely has some pull with people, so that's why they're backing him, because he'll kind of, a lot of these guys in the clergy within the USCCB and around the world are, if not gay themselves, they're very, very gay friendly. So he's the one that'll kind of soften the hearts of the faithful on this. So that's why they get behind him on that.
And that's why it's important that Church Militant exposes this.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, and we'll do it every night on Evening News. Like the first 10 stories are almost always bishops betraying the faithful, cozying up to the LGBT agenda.
I wish we could end that. I mean, you guys could have another thing to talk about, but these are the facts right now.
We actually got we're doing every night after our Evening News, we're doing a little, it's called Fighting for the Future, our little fundraiser we're doing.
Yeah, I've been watching.
We got a question from somebody saying, why are you guys doing all these evil bishop stories? Why don't you do something good? Well, these are the stories that we have to talk about.
Yeah, of course. We'd like not to, but that's the facts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the last thing I want to mention is that Father James Martin, it's not going to, if he doesn't repent, it's not going to go very well at his judgment. I'll tell you why. He's confusing a lot of young Catholics.
Oh, yeah.
You see a lot of young Catholics on social media. They're saying, hey, Mr. Romero, you got Father James Martin that says the exact opposite of what you say. He's got a Roman collar. He's ordained as a Catholic priest. He speaks with the authority of Pope Francis. You don't. You don't speak with the authority of Pope Francis. You don't have a Roman collar. You're not ordained. This man is doing so much damage, and I just hope and pray that he comes and sees the light of Christ before he dies, because it's not going to be very pretty at his exit interview.
Yeah, no kidding.
James, what else do we have? Because we got about 8 minutes. I'm all
So one other thing I want to mention is, we're out of time, but I want to skip over to our sort of keeping with the LGBT agenda.
Sure.
The House voted to codify, or I'm not,
marriage,
legalize gay marriage around the country.
Yep.
So 47 rhinos, Republicans in name only, voted with the Democrats on
my
this.
God.
The bill's going to the Senate, so it's not official yet, but 47 Republicans sided with the Dems on this, and we, Church Militant, are going to point out the Catholics, the Kinos, we like to call them, Catholics in name only, that voted for this thing.
Good for you, as you should.
Yeah, here's the lay of the field. The Democrat Party is a wicked, diabolical party. They're basically, stick a fork in them, they're cooked. The Republican Party has been infiltrated. They have good party platform principles, but they have been infiltrated by some bad people as well. So I tell people the Democrat Party has fourth stage cancer. There's nothing you can do to rehabilitate them. The Republican Party has first stage cancer. They're still redeemable. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, we need good people to step up. We know in Maryland, the Dan Cox just won for the primary for the governorship there. So he's a faithful Catholic. He's going to be at our call to action convention speaking there.
Great.
So that's good. But we need more people like him stepping up and kicking these rhinos, these fake Catholics, these fake Republicans out.
Yeah. Hey, what about, tell us a little bit about the Pachamama story I see you have here as one of the news items.
Yeah. So Pope Francis is going to Canada, and we have this story titled Echoes of Pachamama, because he's going to apologize to the native peoples for the whole, the unknown graves of the native children that happened a while ago. But he's going, the native peoples there are preparing this ritual for him where they're going to, mash herbs in a pot and like sprinkle them on his head as sort of like a welcoming thing. But it's pagan. So why would Pope Francis take part in this? Why is he not sounding the alarm? And this is why it's called Echoes of Pachamama. This is the same thing that we saw with the Amazon Synod. He was almost like dancing in front of this statue, this Pachamama statue, and like almost worshiping it. So all the faithful were kind of like, what's going on here? Where does your allegiance lie, Pope Francis? So this is just another thing that's kind of true to Pope Francis, his fashion, just confusing, weird, and that we're not really getting any answers on it.
What's interesting is that when you look at the 10 Commandments and you talk to anybody in moral theology, they'll tell you that the most egregious commandment to break, the one that offends God the most, is the first commandment.
Yep.
That's the worst commandment.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. And so the worship of the Pachamama idol or anything resembling the Pachamama idol, that falls under the violation of the first commandment. That's the worst sin you can commit. Yeah. I remember Cardinal Raymond Burke, he said that when that action took place in the Vatican Gardens, Cardinal Raymond Burke said that action in the presence of the Holy Father, it opened the door to the diabolical inside the Vatican. That was a very strong statement, but it does, because the Pachamama, I mean, some people are trying to say, oh, that's the Blessed Virgin Mary. No, it's not. It's a pagan Amazonian goddess. And in fact, if you look at Psalm 95, the Bible says that the gods, lowercase g, the gods of the Gentiles are demons. So according to Psalm 95, Pachamama is a demon. James.
Yeah.
Comments?
Yeah, he's still the Pope. There's a lot of people that would jump the gun even further and say, he's forfeited his Pope.
Nah, he's a Pope. He's a Pope.
Yeah.
He is the Pope. But, again, as in addition to endangering his own soul on this, he's also leading, like Father James Martin, like loads of other bishops, he's also leading a lot of faithful astray because they're looking at this, again, just confused. And they're like, okay, so, I should be against this, but here the Pope is doing it. So now my efforts to evangelize my, lost brothers and sisters are now incredibly hard, like much harder, because now they can say, oh, well, the Pope did it. So are you going to go against your own Pope? So it's chaos.
Yeah,
right
it is.
now.
And his role has been taught for 2,000 years is to confirm us in our faith, not to confuse us in our faith. And I hate to have to say it that way, but The Springtime That Never Came by Bishop Snyder is a book that handles a lot of these things that we're talking about. And we're carrying that book because anything Bishop Snyder does, I'm telling you, in my opinion, if I was a voting number of the next conclave, he'd be top on the list.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of, I shouldn't say there's a lot. There's some good cardinals now, but they've been slowly. I mean, Pope Francis has elevated people that he likes and that are on his side. So we'll see what happens.
What's the final story?
So I want to just sort of plug our call to action convention coming up at the end of August.
Oh yeah.
We really want people to sign up for that. This is going to give you the tools, give the faithful the tools to fight against these corrupt bishops and these corrupt politicians. They're everywhere, it seems, and they're destroying the church. They're destroying our country, America, and they're destroying the world, frankly. So we need to fight against this. And this convention, this call to action convention, is going to give you the tools to do that and the knowledge to do that.
And the best way to register for the conference is to do what?
Go to our website, and it should be right there on the window. We're pushing it like crazy. So anywhere you can see on our site where it says Call to Action Convention, click it, register, and secure your spot.
Awesome. James, thank you for giving us the content of the show for the news for tomorrow, for this evening. I appreciate your work and what you guys are doing. Thanks so much.